Good morning, dear students. I hope you understand types of relations, reflexive, symmetric and transitive. So, little bit there will be some confusion in the case of symmetry and transitive. At the same time, reflexive also. You should understand clearly. What is the definition of reflexive? A relation capital R defined on a non-empty set. Suppose I am taking non-empty set 2, 1, 2, 3 is said to be reflexive. For every element in capital A should reflect, means 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Compulsory 1 should repeat, 2 should reflect, 3 should reflect. Any extra pairs also no problem, that is reflexive relation. So to check reflexive relation, first we have to see the non-empty set. In the non-empty set, all the elements we have to check, not only 1 or 2 elements or some elements, all the each and every element in capital A we have to check whether that element is reflecting or not. Reflecting means repeating itself. Means 1 you check, 1, 1 is there, 2, 2, 2 is there, 3, 3, 3 is there. So if you only these elements are the reflexive, any extra elements are there, what are the extra pairs? 1, 2 or 2, 3, whatever the extra pairs are there, no problem. Compulsory what we have to check, whether 1, 1 is there, 2, 2, 2 is there, 3, 3, 3 is there, remaining pairs not necessary. If it is there also, no problem. Trivially, this is a reflexive relation. When it is not reflexive, suppose you observe this relation. 1, 1 is there, 2, 2 is there, 3, 3 is not there, so that this relation is not reflexive relation. That is the definition. For every A belongs to capital A, means for each A belongs to capital A. A should present in capital R, so that capital R is reflexive relation. Next, what is symmetric? You know, symmetric, for example, letter V is there. This is symmetric about vertical line. Suppose letter B is there. Letter B is there, symmetric about horizontal line. Suppose C is there, symmetric about horizontal line. Means, suppose whatever this part is there, above also same part will be there. Suppose x-axis and y-axis symmetric to each other. So like that, symmetric nature. To check symmetric nature in relations, then what is the definition you observe? Here a non-empty set will be there, no problem. But we are not considering non-empty set, only pairs we are considering. Suppose, see, 1, 2 is there, 2, 1 is there or not, we have to check. 2, 1. Suppose 2, 1 is there, 1, 2 is there or not check. So clearly this is symmetric relation. Which one is not symmetric? Just to observe. Suppose 1, 2 is there, 2, 2 is there, 3, 3 is there, 1, 1 is there. So, is this a symmetric relation? No, because any one pair if you take A, B belongs to capital R, A, B belongs to capital R, compulsory B, A should be there. If it is not there, that is not a symmetric relation. If it is there, that is the symmetric relation. Suppose A, B belongs to capital R, B, A is not there, that is not symmetric relation. So B, A is there, that is also symmetric relation. So while you are checking reflexive means, first non-empty set we have to see whether 1, 1 is there, 2, 2 is there, 3, 3 is there, 4 is there, 4 is there or not, we have to check. Symmetric how to check? we are not considering non-empty set. Only one relation we take, one pair you are selecting. Suppose A comma B is there, B comma A is there or not. B comma A is not there, that is not symmetry. Suppose one more relation you observe. 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1, 2 comma 3, 3 comma 3. See? 1 comma 2 is there, 2 comma 1, yes, symmetric is there. 2 comma 1 is there, 1 comma 2, symmetric is there. So these two pairs symmetric is there. 2 comma 3 symmetric, 3 comma 2. So 3 comma 2 is not there, so that this is not a symmetric relation. So like that, while you are checking pairs, you have to select from the relation. So the definition you have to understand. If A comma B belongs to capital R, then B comma A must be belongs to capital R for every A comma B belongs to non-empty set. If A comma B is not there, no need to check B comma A. So if A comma B, both B comma A is there, so trivially that is symmetric relation. So these type of relations are called symmetric relations. Then for transitive. So in transitive, two pairs we have to select. Very clear. For reflex checking, every element in capital A we are checking. For symmetric means one arc pair we are taking. So B comma A is there or not, we have to check. Then transitive, two linked pairs we have to select. See, what are the linked pair? First pair second component, second pair first component, both must be equal. Then only we have to check whether A comma C is there or not. If A comma C also is there, that relation is transitive relation. So one more case is there. Suppose A comma B belongs to capital R. A comma B is there. B comma C does not belongs to capital R. But A comma C is there. See, A comma B is there, B comma C is not there, also A comma C is there. Whether it is a transitive or not, yes, it is transitive relation. Why? What is the definition? A comma B and what is there and or is there, that is secondary. And means both should be there. Which type of pairs? Linked pairs. If linked pairs are not there, clearly that is a transitive relation. That is transitive relation. Next slide. Suppose A comma B does not belongs to capital R. B comma C also does not belongs to capital R. But A comma C belongs to capital R. Very clear? AB is not there, BC is not there, AC is there. Clearly this is transitive relation. If both AB and AB, BC is there, A comma C we have to check. If these two pairs not there, no need to check A comma C. Trivially that is transitive relation. So that I told clearly in the relations previous class. In any relation, only one order pair is there. Trivially that is transitive relation. This is the example. See, AB is not there, BC is not there. Only single pair is there. Trivially that is transitive relation. So be careful while you are taking transitive relation. These two linked pairs you have to select. Sir, linked pairs not there means trivially that is transitive relation. So that point you have to remember. Next, another type, equivalence relation. Equivalence relation. See the definition. A relation capital R defined on a non-empty set capital A. A relation capital R defined on a non-empty set capital A is said to be an equivalence. R must be reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Both means all these three conditions, three relations satisfying, then only capital R is an equivalence relation. Capital R is an equivalence relation. See, one example I will write. First, before writing example, one non-empty set we have to define. What is the non-empty set? Capital A equal to 1, 2, 3. Some relations we are writing. R1 equal to 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. See here. R1 means 1 means whether it is reflexive or not. See, to verify whether the relation is equivalence or not, first we have to check whether capital R is reflexive. Reflexive means 1 is there, 2 is there, 3 is there. In the name itself, reflective means reflection. So clearly capital R is a reflexive relation. Yes. Then whether capital R is symmetric or not, we have to check. See, A comma B, any one pair you select. 1 comma 1. What is symmetric itself? 1 comma 1. 2 itself. 2 symmetric itself. 3 symmetric itself. So clearly capital R is also symmetric. Then whether transitive or not, I told many times. Between two pairs there is no link. See, 1 1 2 2. 1 different, 2 different. 2 2 3 3 different. 1 1 3 3 different. There is no linked pairs. Trivially this is a transitive relation. So clearly this is an equivalence relation. Reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Next, one more relation. 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 1 comma 2, 3 comma 3. See. First we will check whether this relation is reflexive or not. 1 is there, 2 is there, 3 also is there. So clearly capital R is reflexive relation. Whether capital R is symmetric or not, we have to check. How to check symmetry? Pairs you have to select. 1 1 symmetric itself, 2 symmetric itself, 1 2 symmetric, 2 comma 1. But 2 comma 1 is not there, so this is not symmetric. Next, transitive or not. See, transitive how to check? Suppose 1 comma 1 pair if I select, any other order pair, first component is 1 is there or not? See, 1 1, 2. See, link is there. 1 there is a link. Then what we have to verify? 1 comma 2. Whether 1 comma 2 belongs to capital or not? Yes, already 1 comma 2 is there. Trivially that is transitive relation. 2 no other pair start with 2. Yes, 1 2. See here. 1 2. So these two components are equal. 1 comma 2. Already 1 comma 2 is there. So 2 3. No other pair start with 3. So trivially this is a transitive relation. But it is not equivalence because it is reflexive and transitive but not symmetric. So that which is not equivalence relation. Next one more. R3 equal to 1 comma 2, 1 comma 3. First 1 comma 1 I will write. 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2, 1 comma 3, 2 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 2 comma 3, 3 comma 1, 3 comma 2, 3 comma 3. So this is clearly an universal relation. So universal relation always reflexive, symmetric, at the same time transitive relation, so that clearly this is equivalence relation. So identity relation, universal relations are always equivalence relations. So that like this we have to verify whether one relation is equivalence or not. So equivalence means reflexive, symmetric and transitive relation. Like this we have to define equivalence relation. Next, number of equivalence relations. If A contains m elements, suppose 1 element, 2 element, 3 elements are there, how many equivalence, this type of equivalence relations, how many can be formed? First I will take one example. Suppose A contains only one element, A contains two elements. How many means number of equivalence relations can be formed. See. First A contains one element, that is, suppose A equal to only one element is there. A contains two elements, that is, A equal to, suppose A comma B, two elements are there. How many equivalence relations can be formed? See. A comma A, this is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Suppose null relation if you take mean that is not reflexive, so that only one equivalence relation can be formed. Suppose A contains two elements, how many equivalence relations can be formed? See, A comma A, B comma B, one equivalence relation. One more you observe, A comma A comma B, B comma A, B comma B. This is universal relation on capital A. So only two equivalence relations can be formed if A contains two elements. Like that, A contains three elements, A contains four elements, A contains five elements. Then number of equivalence relations, number of equivalence relations. See, so number of equivalence relations can be formed by using Bell numbers. So what are the Bell numbers you observe? Or Bell triangle also we take. Suppose A contains only one element is there, number of equivalence relations 1. Suppose one relation contains two elements are there, here 1 is start, 1 plus 1, 2. So two equivalence relations are there. Next, here end with 2, start with 2. 1 plus 2, 3, 2 plus 3, 5. 5 equivalence relations are there. Means A contains 3 elements. See, this is A contains only one element. This is A contains 2 elements. This is A contains 3 elements. Suppose A contains 4 elements are there. A contains 4 elements are there. Here end with 5 means start with 5. 5 plus 2, 7. 7 plus 3, 10. 10 plus 5, 15. So there are 15 equivalence relations. Suppose A contains 5 elements are there. A contains 5 elements. Here end with 15 means start with 15. So it is 20. 20 plus 7 means 27. This is 37, 40, 52. So there are 52 equivalence relations. So like this it will go. Again 52, every means again start with 52. 52 plus 15. Again this number plus 20. Again this number plus 20. If you get all this sequence will come. So very clear. A contains one element means one equivalence relation. A contains two elements means two equivalence relation. A contains 3 elements means 5 equivalence relations. A contains 4 elements means 15 equivalence relations. A contains 5 elements means 52 equivalence relations. There is no particular formula, but we can calculate number of equivalence relations by using these are the Bell numbers. So very clear. These are the number of equivalence relations. A contains one element, one equivalence relation. A contains two elements. This last number you have to consider. A contains 3 elements, 5 equivalence relations. A contains 4 elements, 15 equivalence relations. A contains 5 elements, 52 equivalence relations. You can continue and so on. So this formula you should remember. Procedure you have to remember. Number of equivalence relations by using Bell numbers. These numbers are called Bell numbers. So A contains one element, one equivalence relation, two elements are there, two equivalence relation, three elements are there, five equivalence relation, four elements are there, 15 equivalence, five elements are there, 52 equivalence relation. So this is most important in the competitive exam, so that you should remember like this. Next. Anti-symmetric relation. One more type of relation is there. Anti-symmetric relation. What is anti-symmetric relation? A relation anti-symmetric. A relation capital R defined on a non-empty set capital A is said to be an anti-symmetric relation on capital A if what is the condition you observe? If A comma B belongs to capital R, A comma B belongs to capital R, and B comma A also must be belongs to capital R, then A must be equal to B. Very clear. Condition you have to understand. These type of two relations compulsory. A comma B, B comma A. This is not a trans to case also. What is trans to case? A comma B, B comma C. But here symmetric nature. A comma B, B comma A. Both are appearing. Then A must be equal to B. If A is not equal to B means that is not anti-symmetric relation. One example you observe. Suppose A equal to 1, 2, 3, one non-empty set we are considering. One relation you observe. What is the relation? 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Whether this is anti-symmetric or not. What is anti-symmetric definition? A comma B, B comma A. For example, one page you select 1, 1. Suppose this is A, B will select 1, 1. What is B comma A? Symmetric. Again 1, 1. AB is there, BA is there. Can I take 1 equal to 1? Yes. So AB, BA itself 1 equal to 1, 2 equal to 3, 3 equal to 3. This is always anti-symmetric relation. It is always anti-symmetric relation. Next. Suppose 1, 2, 3, 3, one relation is there. Whether this relation is anti-symmetric or not, be careful, very simple if you understand. Otherwise, you cannot understand easily, so that you should concentrate more on this concept. See, 1, What is the definition? A comma B, B comma A is there, anti-symmetric. Suppose you observe A comma B is there, A comma B is there, but B comma A is not there. B comma A is not there. Trivially, this is anti-symmetric relation. You remember, A comma B and B comma A both is there. Whether we have to check A equal to B or not. If AB is there, BA is not there. So trivially anti-symmetric relation. So AB is there, BA is not there. AB is there, BA is there. So here failed only, no? Sorry. Here there is no A comma B, B comma A. So here is there, but here it is not there. So trivially this is anti-symmetric relation. Next, R3. Suppose 1 comma 2, only one order pair is there. Only one order pair is there. What is the condition here? AB is there, BA is not there. So only one order pair, AB is there, BA is not there. So trivially it is anti-symmetric relation. Which one is not anti-symmetric? C. Which one is not anti-symmetric? Suppose 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1. Be careful. 1 A comma B, B comma A. A comma B, B comma A. Can you say 1 equal to 2? No. So here you observe definition. A comma B and B comma A. B comma A. And A must be equal to B, but here A is not equal to B. So this is not anti-symmetric relation. So anti-symmetric definition is AB, BA both are there, A equal to B. If A is not equal to B, that is not anti-symmetric. One definition. AB is there, BA is not there, trivially anti-symmetric. So that AB, BA both are there, whether A equal to B means first component, second component, whether both are equal or not. If they are not equal, not anti-symmetric. So AB is there, BA is not there, trivially anti-symmetric. AB, BA is not there, anti-symmetric. AB, BA both are there, but A equal to B, this is anti-symmetric. So like this we have to define anti-symmetric relation on a non-empty set. T be the set of all triangles in a plane defined as, and capital R be a relation. Capital R be a relation defined on capital T as capital R equal to, see here, T1 comma T2, T1 comma T2, such that T1 is congruent to T2. Determine whether capital R is equivalence or not. So what is the definition? So first of all, what you have to remember solving these type of problems. What is the given non-empty set? So what is the given non-empty set? So T be the set of all triangles. Set of all triangles in a plane. And what is the relation? Capital R equal to, see, order pairs T1 comma T2 such that T1 is congruent to T2, symbolically written. T1 is congruent to T2. So what we have to verify, determine whether capital R is equivalence relation or not. Equivalence means whether capital R is reflexive, symmetric or transitive, we have to define. So first I will take whether capital R is reflexive or not. See, what is reflexive relation? One from non-empty set, each and every element we have to select. See here, let T be one element or T1 be one element from the non-empty set. From the non-empty set. And just we are making conclusion. Since T1 is congruent to T1 itself, yes, every triangle is congruent to itself. So every triangle is congruent to itself means T1 comma T2 T1 comma and T1 itself belongs to capital R. See here, between two pair means between two numbers, first component, second component, what is the relation? First triangle is congruent to second triangle. So here first triangle means one triangle I will take. What is the conclusion here? Every triangle is congruent to itself. So that we are taking that truth. So that T1, T2, instead of T2, what is there? T1 only. So T1 and T1 itself belongs to capital R. Therefore, capital R is reflexive relation. Reflexive relation on non-empty set capital T. Reflexive relation on non-empty set capital T. See, what is reflexive? We have to verify each and every element in capital T whether reflecting or not. See, T1 if you take T1 is congruent to T1. T2 if you take T2 congruent to itself. T10 if you take T10 congruent to itself. So this is true for every T1 belongs to non-empty set. T1 belongs to non-empty set. So that capital R is reflexive relation on capital T. Next, whether capital R is symmetric or not. Whether capital R is symmetric or not. So what is symmetric concept? Any one pair we will select. Let T1 comma T2 belongs to capital R. Suppose T1 T2 are congruent means triangles meeting. That is, T1 is congruent to T2. So can you say T1 is congruent to T2 means can you say T2 is also congruent to T1? Yes, T2 is also congruent to T1. So T2 is congruent to T1 means we can say that T2 comma T1 also belongs to capital R. That is, what we proved here, our assumption is T1 comma T2 belongs to capital R. What we proved, T2 comma T1 also belongs to capital R. This is true for every triangle. T1 comma T2 belongs to non-empty set T. Therefore, capital R is symmetric relation. Symmetric relation on non-empty set capital T. I hope you understand what is the procedure to take, how to prove reflexive, symmetric. Reflexive means only one triangle we have to consider. Symmetric means pair of triangles we have to consider. Transitive means two pair of triangles we have to consider. So capital R is reflexive and symmetric. Then whether capital R is transitive or not we have to check. See here. Transitivity. whether capital R is trans to or not. See. So whether capital R is trans to or not means the two pairs we have to select. That is T1 comma T2 belongs to capital R and T2 comma T1 also belongs to capital R. Two order pairs, linked pairs, T2, T2. So we have to verify whether T1 comma T3 belongs to R or not. See here. What is our assumption? T1 is congruent to T2. T1 is congruent to T2 and T2 is congruent to T3. See here. Suppose this is T1 one triangle. T2, T3. T1 is congruent to T2, T2 is congruent to T3. So all these triangles are congruent. So T1 is also congruent to T3. So from this, T1 is also congruent to T3. So from this, T1 comma T3 belongs to capital R. What is our assumption? T1, T2 belongs to capital R. T2, T3 belongs to capital R. Then what we proved? T1, T3 also belongs to capital R. So capital R is also transitive. So capital R is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Hence capital R is an equivalence relation. So like that we have to verify whether one relation is equivalence or not. Next question. L be the set of all the lines in a plane. Set of all the lines in a plane. On this non-empty set, capital R be a relation defined on capital L. How they define? Pair of lines L1 and L2. What is the relation between the two lines? L1 is perpendicular to L2. So which is symmetric but neither reflexive nor transitive we have to prove. See. This is the relation. Non-empty set means set of all the lines, that is capital L. L1 and L2, what is the relation between them means a perpendicularity relation. So, first we will verify whether capital R is reflexive or not. See. One line L I am taking or L1 I am taking. L1 belongs to non-empty set capital L, means set of all the lines in a plane. So we will take one condition. Since L1 is not perpendicular to itself, L1 is not perpendicular to itself. Suppose parallel condition is there, L1 is parallel to itself, that is condition correct. But the perpendicularity, you saw one line if you take means the line cannot be perpendicular to itself. So L1 is not perpendicular to itself means what is the relation here? L1 comma L1 does not belongs to capital R. This is true for every line in capital L. Set of all the lines. So one element I am taking from the non-empty set. L1 comma L1 is not belongs to capital R. Suppose A belongs to non-empty set. A comma A does not belongs to capital R means capital R is not reflexive relation. That is, capital R is not reflexive on non-empty set capital L. Next, whether capital R is symmetric or not. Capital R is symmetric or not. How to check symmetry? One pair we have to consider. Let L1 comma L2 belongs to capital R. What is our assumption? There is a relation between L1 and L2. So there is a relation between L1 and L2 means L1 is perpendicular to L2. You observe, suppose this is L1, this is L2. L1 is perpendicular to L2 means, can you write L2 is also perpendicular to L1? Yes. So from this, L2 is also perpendicular to L1. So L2 is perpendicular to L1 means L2 comma L1 belongs to capital R. So that is what we proved. L1 comma L2 belongs to capital R implies L2 comma L1 is also belongs to capital R. This is true for every L1 comma L2 belongs to non-empty set here. Therefore, capital R is not, it is symmetric relation. It is symmetric on non-empty set capital L. Then capital R is transitive or not? We have to check. So, see here. Whether capital R is transitive or not. So in transitive, what is our procedure? Two pairs we have to consider. L1 comma L2 belongs to capital R and L2 comma L3 also belongs to capital R. Simple logic. L1 L2 belongs to capital R means L1 is perpendicular to L2. For example, this is L1, this is L2. So L1 is always perpendicular to L2. L2 is perpendicular to L3. So L2 is perpendicular to L3. So L2 is perpendicular to L3 means this is L3. See, L1 perpendicular to L2, L2 perpendicular to L3. Then what about L1 and L3 relation? Both are parallel relations. So that L1 is not perpendicular to L3. So capital R is not a transitive relation. See here. L1 is L1 comma L2 belongs to capital R means L1 is perpendicular to L2 and L2 comma L3 belongs to capital R means L2 is perpendicular to L3. So L1 is perpendicular to L2, L2 is perpendicular to L3. So L1 is parallel to L3. So indirectly L1 is not perpendicular to L3. So L1 is not perpendicular to L3 means what we can say, L1 comma L3 does not belongs to capital R. That is, what is the conclusion? L1 comma L2 belongs to capital R and L2 comma L3 also belongs to capital R. But L1 comma L3 does not belongs to capital R. Therefore, capital R is not a transitive relation. So A comma B, B comma C belongs to capital R, but A comma C is not belongs to capital R means capital R is not a transitive. Hence, capital R is symmetric only, but neither reflexive nor transitive relation. Like that we have to answer. Next question. Show that the relation capital R show that the relation capital R defined on the non-empty set 1 comma 2 comma 3 defined as defined as r equal to 1 comma 1 2 comma 2 1 comma 1 2 comma 2 3 comma 3 1 comma 2 2 comma 3 is reflexive but neither symmetric nor transitive. We have to prove. See there? One non-empty set they given, that is 1 2 3 set of 1 2 3. On that non-empty set they define one relation, that is capital R. So what we have to prove? Capital R is reflexive but neither symmetric nor transitive. We have to prove. See here. First we have to assume what is the given non-empty set. Let A we are taking. What is the given non-empty set? 1 comma 2 comma 3. And what is the relation? Capital R equal to 1 comma 1 2 comma 2 3 comma 3 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 3. Right. First we have to see whether capital R is reflexive or not. See here. Whether capital R is reflexive. How to check reflexive? First we have to see the non-empty set. 1 is there. 2 is there. 3 is there. So capital R is a reflexive relation, but how to write answer? In the examination, how to write? So very clear. Let A belongs to capital A and A comma A belongs to capital R. For every A belongs to, you write like this. Clearly. A comma A belongs to capital R. For every A belongs to non-empty set. What is the meaning? For every member in capital A is reflecting. Suppose 1 is there, 1 is there, 2 is there, 2 is there, 3 is there, 3 is there. Therefore, capital R is reflexive on the non-empty set capital E. Then, whether capital R is symmetric or not, we have to check. Symmetric nature. What is symmetric nature? Suppose if you take 1 comma 1 symmetric, 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2 symmetric, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3 symmetric, 3 comma 3, 1 comma 2 symmetric. See, let 1 comma 2 belongs to capital R, but 2 comma 1 does not belongs to capital, because 1 comma 2 is there, but 2 comma 1 is not there. Therefore, capital R is not symmetric on the non-empty set capital A. Whether capital R is transitive or not. Transitive or not. See, in case of transitive, 2 linked pairs we have to consider. What are the 2 linked pairs? See, suppose 1 1 1 2 1 comma 2 is there. 1 1 no other pair. 2 2 2 3 2 comma 3 is there. 3, 3, no other pen start with 3. 1, comma 2, 2, comma 3. Yes, you observe. 1, comma 2 belongs to capital R and 2, comma 3 also belongs to capital R. Very clear. A, comma B belongs to capital R. B, comma C also belongs to capital R. But A, comma C we have to verify. Is there 1, comma 3 in capital R? You check 1, comma 3 is there. So it is not there. So 1, comma 3 does not belongs to capital R. Therefore, capital R is not transitive on non-implicit capital A. So very clear. Capital R is reflexive, neither symmetric nor transitive. So like that we have to answer this question. Next. Listen next question. Show that the relation capital R, show that the relation capital R defined on integers, Z set of integers defined on set of integers given by R equal to set of order pairs A, comma B such that 2 divides A minus B. 2 divides A minus B is an equivalence relation. Most important, see, one relation set of integers they given. That is Z also we have to assume. What we have to prove? Capital R is equivalence relation. To prove whether capital R is equivalence or not, it is enough to show that capital R is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. So first we will see what is the Z. So set of all integers. All integers means 0, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3 and so on. And how they define capital R? Set of all the order pairs such that 2 divides, say here, relation important here, 2 divides first component minus the second component. First component minus second component which is divided by 2 means there is a relation. One simple example. Suppose first component 4, second component 2. What is 4 minus 2? 2. Is this divisible by 2? Yes, which is divisible by 2. So there is a relation between 4 comma 2. Suppose 6 comma 2 if I take 6 comma 2. What is 6 minus 2? 4. Is this divisible by 2? Yes, which is divisible by 2. So there is a relation between 2 and 6 and 2. For example, 4 comma 1 if I take 4 comma 1. What is 4 minus 1? 3. So which is not divisible by 2. So that 4 comma 1 there is no relation. Next. So capital R is whether reflexive or not we have to check. Reflexive or not. So first I am taking. So whether capital R is reflexive or not. See, what is the procedure? Any one random element from the integers I am taking. any one random element, that is 1, 2, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 or plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, whatever the numbers means, A with any one random element from the integer set. See, just I am giving one conclusion. A minus A. So first reflection means A minus A because relation is first component minus the second component. Here second component also I am taking as A. A minus A nothing but 0. So which is divisible by 2 because 0 divided by 2 nothing but 0, which is divisible by 2. So from this A comma A belongs to capital R. This is true for every element in capital Z. Therefore, capital R is reflexive on integer set. So, like that we have to verify reflexive. Then, symmetric. See here. Whether capital R is symmetric or not. Just I will take one example. 4 comma 2 belongs to capital R because 4 minus 2 always divisible by 2. What is 2 comma 4? 2 minus 4 means minus 2 is also divisible by 2. Minus 2 also divisible by 2. Yes. So A comma B belongs to capital R means B comma A also must be belongs to capital R. This is true in integers only. Integers only. This is true. So I will take any one order pair from relation. Let A comma B belongs to capital R. What we have to prove? B comma A also must be belongs to capital R. So A comma B belongs to capital R means what is the meaning? 2 divides, what is the relation? 2 divides A minus B. A minus B. So 2 divides A minus B means 2 also divides B minus A. B minus A. Just now we discussed, 4 comma 2, 2 comma 4 like that. So 2 divides B minus A means we can say that B comma A also belongs to capital R. That is A comma B belongs to capital R. B comma A also must be belongs to capital R. This is true for every A comma B belongs to integer set. Therefore, capital R is symmetric relation. Symmetric on integers. Then we have to check whether capital R is transitive or not. Transitive or not. See. So first I will take one example. 4 comma 2 belongs to capital R. 4 comma 2. 2 comma 8 R I will take. 2 comma 2 belongs to capital R. 2 comma 4 belongs to capital R. So A comma C also belongs to capital R. So A comma B belongs to capital R, B comma C belongs to capital R because 2 minus 4 minus 2 always divisible by 2. So this is true for every integer set. So that I am taking let A comma B belongs to capital R and B comma C also belongs to capital R. That is, what is between AB relation in capital R? 2 divides A minus B. See, 2 divides A minus B and 2 divides B minus C. So 2 divides A minus B means, you observe, A minus B. One simple example. Suppose 4 comma 2 means 4 minus 2 always divisible by 2, means 2 divides A minus B. So A minus B can be written as sum 2k will write. Sum 2 into k will write. So similarly, if I take 2 comma 10, if I take 2 comma 10, what is 2 minus 10? Minus 8 divided by 2 means how much will get? Minus 4. Minus 4 how to write? 2 into minus 2 means A minus B is divisible by 2 means there is some k such that 2 into k it will come. 2 into k, so that A minus B is divisible by 2 or 2 divides A minus B means, so A minus B can be written as 2 into k1, where k belongs to some integer, or lambda 1 also take, no problem. 2 divides B minus C means we can say that B minus C is also 2 into some k2, where k1 comma k2 also some integers. Now, actually what we have to prove, there is a relation between A comma C also is there is a relation between A comma C is also we have to prove. So very simple, just I am taking A minus C. What is A minus C? How I am writing? A minus B plus B minus C. If you want minus B plus B cancel, again you will get A minus C. So from this, A minus B value 2 into K1, B minus C value 2 into K2. So if I take 2 common, that is K1 plus K2. What is this meaning? A minus C K into some lambda, that is A minus C equal to 2 into some lambda. So where lambda equal to K1 plus K2. See here, A minus C equal to 2 into some integer means we can say that 2 divides A minus C. So from this, A comma C is also belongs to capital R. See here, what is our assumption? A comma B belongs to capital R, B comma C belongs to capital R, A comma C is also belongs to capital R. So that capital R is transitive relation. So capital R is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Hence which is an equivalence relation. Like that we have to answer.